Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am music producer Achickwitbeatz, solo in the coop for today, but sending warm wishes to my co-host, entrepreneur Breezy Gipson. And you know what? Got tons of industry news to bring to you, along with plenty of beats produced by myself. And so, hey, you like anything? Make sure you hit me up. Let me know. And, of course, got to send a shout out to our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Atlanta, Georgia. And you know what? I think I'm going to just go ahead and hit this button. But first up, I'd like to kind of preview a new beat, or my beat of the week, if you will. This one's called Shadows. And, got a lot more coming after this, but stick around.
Hey fam, this is Breezy Gipson from The Breeze. How would you like to see an online platform that brings you people who've already indicated that they're interested in your particular type of business? Whether it's your music you're selling, hip-hop clothing, you got a restaurant or cafe, or if you're an entrepreneur or agent for a business. Visit me at breeze2cheese.com. That's using the number 2, breeze2cheese.com, or click my bio link on my Instagram profile to see a live demo of how this can help you get more customers and make more money.
Hey, this is Achickwitbeatz. I am a multi-genre music producer and strategist to indie artists and labels. Visit my website, Achickwitbeatz.com, for resources for artists and instrumentals available in various genres for songs, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, themes, TV, film, commercials, and more. Once again, that's Achickwitbeatz.com, ACHICKWITBEATZ. Let's make something happen.
from the Breeze team. How would you like to see an online platform that brings you people who've already indicated that they're interested in your particular type of business? Whether it's your music you're selling, hip-hop clothing, you got a restaurant or cafe, or if you're an entrepreneur or agent for a business. Visit me at breeze2cheese.com. That's using the number 2, breeze2cheese.com, or click my bio link on my Instagram profile to see a live demo of how this can help you get more customers and make more money.
Hey, this is Achickwitbeatz. I am a multi-genre music producer and strategist to indie artists and labels. Visit my website, Achickwitbeatz.com, for resources for artists and instrumentals available in various genres for songs, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, themes, TV, film, commercials, and more. Once again, that's Achickwitbeatz.com, ACHICKWITBEATZ. Let's make something happen. All right, I'm back with music industry news. First off, Block, the parent company of Tidal, has acquired the business and financial management platform Hi-Fi. So according to Hi-Fi, thousands of independent recording artists, producers, songwriters, and their teams signed up to use its royalties dashboard, which basically aggregates data from labels, distribution services, pros, music publishers, and other platforms. So in 2021, Hi-Fi had acquired the Music Fund, which provided funding solutions for artists based on streaming performance of their music on digital services. So earlier this year, the company launched Cash Flow, which is a royalty acceleration service that'll pay artists and rights holders in real time. So in addition to owning Tidal and now Hi-Fi, Block, which was formerly Square Inc., just in case you weren't aware, but they also own Cash App and the buy now, pay later platform called Afterpay. So, these moves look pretty strategic. They've obviously, got some synergies going on, and hey, we'll just have to see what comes forth from this. But it looks like they're making some big moves that can actually help artists receive the money that they've earned in a timely manner. So that's always a good thing. All right, Warner Music has acquired India-based artist management and live events company called ePositive. So Warner Music Group launched Warner Music India in 2020 and has since made various deals, partnerships, and acquisitions spanning multiple artists and companies in the region. So ePositive will continue to act as a standalone company that's led by its founder and CEO, Nashood Khan, and the president of Emerging Markets Warner Music said that the deal reinforces the label's desire to become what they're calling, quote unquote, the number one destination for artists in India. So, we've been talking for a while. There's been so many deals and acquisitions happening in the MENA region. And so, even though it's considered an emerging market, I'm pretty sure it's already emerged. I think the U.S. is finally catching up to it. So, I'm expecting to have more and more stories to report similar to this. All right, AI music startup LifeScore is launching its own record label. So LifeScore Music emerged in 2019 as a part of the Abbey Road Red Incubator, and Warner Music Group was among its investors in a $13.3 million funding back in 2022. So the new label, called Kaleidoscope, plans to utilize human musicians composing and performing music to amplify it with AI. So the initial releases will center on music for well-being, including yoga, sleep, and relaxation. And additionally, they're collaborating with artist Sleeping at Last to create an extended sleep version of his Atlas Space album. So it looks like they're already partnering with actual humans. So it's not all going to be, completely based on AI, but there are other ways to use it that don't hamper creativity, and so hopefully that's what their label will be representing. So hey, it's one of those things. It's definitely a facet that we're going to have to embrace in some areas. Of course, there's still a lot of debate going on about the ethics and exactly how people are going to get paid. You may have even heard about the whole Timbaland Biggie thing. So aside from that one song that he kind of previewed, he's actually planning on releasing a full quote unquote collaboration album that's based off of the AI, and he wants people to think of it as a filter because it's still humans actually writing the work, but it's more so making the voice to sound like Biggie. But then again, of course, he said that the state will get paid for it. But, again, it just kind of brings up that whole ethics issue. Is this something Biggie would have wanted to have done while he was alive? So, nobody can really answer that question for him. But, regardless of how you feel about the different ways that people are using AI in music, it's definitely something that's not going away anytime soon. All right, Reservoir has acquired the catalog of Latin music hitmaker Rudy Perez. So the deal includes songs that he's written or co-written for Christina Aguilera, Julio Iglesias, and more. I mean, the list is pretty long, but it also includes a publishing deal for his future works. So he's produced over 70 albums. He's composed over 1,000 songs, including about 300 that have actually become top 10 hits. So that's a big deal. And a lot of times when we talk about these deals, most of them don't always include future works. But we've been noticing, a few more here and there starting to come up a little more often. So, it's kind of like things are moving a little bit in reverse. For a while there, everybody was fighting to have control of their masters, but now most people are fighting to have control of their masters. So that way they can actually sell it and get a big payday from all these catalog acquisitions that are going on. But hey, more power to you. If it works for the artists and helps them achieve their goals, then I don't see anything wrong with it. All right, Sir Elton John leads a $5 million funding round for music startup Audu. So Audu developed an audio meter that can be installed in retailers, businesses, and public locations to track music that's being played, and then it feeds that information back to the pros to make sure that the accurate data is calculated when they're working on payouts. So anything that can kind of streamline this process is pretty good. There's been quite a few of these coming out lately, so I'm kind of curious to see if any of these are actually going to team up. But there's a few devices, few companies that have been working on things like this. So, hey, it doesn't necessarily have to be a competition as long as, these things are benefiting the people who have worked hard to have their music, kind of be recognized and actually provide a backdrop for, shopping centers and some of the other places to make sure that they're accurately getting paid. And so, yeah, that's always a good thing. All right, Capitol Records fights Vimeo copyright protections in the Second Circuit. So 12 record labels recently urged the Second Circuit Court of Appeals to hold Vimeo responsible for copyright infringement, basically saying that Vimeo disregarded warning signs when its employees came across recognizable recordings on its site. So, led by Capitol Records, which was a subsidiary of Universal, these labels initially sued Vimeo in a Manhattan federal court back in 2009 during the popularity of the lip dubs that were going on Vimeo back then. So, a federal court in New York said that Vimeo's employees, even though they watched the videos containing the copyrighted music, but still granted the company a summary judgment saying that it didn't have the right or ability to control the users that were infringing on copyrights. So now Capitol Records is saying that the lower court made a huge mistake by allowing this to happen and underestimated Vimeo's significant influence. So they argued that the record evidence showed Vimeo sought special sponsorship for its Lip Dub Stars channel. They received ad revenue for it and actually linked to those infringing videos. So they benefited from making sure that they didn't ban copyrighted material from being done there. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how this turns out. Of course, we never actually know in these situations how it will be determined, but I mean, I'd be willing to bet it would make sense for that to get overruled. And if that's the case, then it could be another long legal battle ahead. But hey, we'll see what happens. All right, the RIAA wants AI voice cloning sites on the government's piracy watch list. So they're basically saying that the voice cloning potential copyright infringement is such a threat that, hey, like, you gotta put this on the watchdog list. So the organization had specifically called out one company in the space, which is Voicify.ai, And so this one provides voice models of famous artists, including Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, and a lot more. And it asserts that basically the website lets users rip YouTube videos to copy an a cappella track before using an AI voice model to modify it. And so that's infringing on the copyrights of the sound recording artists, basically their right to publicity, which is accurate. So once again, this is another thing we got to kind of wait and see what happens with this. But yeah, there's definitely some concern for that because, I mean, you know, just to think, if somebody decided to rip one of your songs that you had available on YouTube and started modeling music and making it seem like you were the one that was doing it, you kind of want to have some control over that, some say. So, you know, definitely something that needs to be watched out for. All right, this is something that could be coming up down the pipeline, but the FTC wants to ban junk fees for concert tickets and more. And so basically the Federal Trade Commission wants all businesses to display every fee, the total price of goods or services up front. And so the rule will actually let the FTC impose financial penalties for non-compliance. And the proposed measure has to go through the federal process for rulemaking. So far, Biden has called on Congress to pass the Prevention Act to codify it into law to protect it from any legal challenges. So we'll have to see what happens. Once again, it's something that would definitely be beneficial. We've talked about all the trouble that's been going on with getting tickets from Ticketmaster and Live Nation, same company, but, you know, and other competitors where it's just so much hidden. You think that you're paying one price and then you get through to the end and then it's a lot different than what you thought you were going to pay. And people have kind of had enough of it. And so there should be some transparency there. So hopefully this act will get passed. But yeah, we'll let you know as we get more information. All right, BMI plans to pay songwriters and publishers a smaller portion of its revenues as a for-profit company. And keep in mind, while they're doing this, they're upping their own margin from 10% to 15% of collections. So who knows how many members are going to be okay with this, but BMI CEO Mike O'Neill says, and I quote, "As we look at the next 3 years of our business, our goal is to distribute 85% of licensing revenue to our songwriters, composers, and publishers, and retain approximately 15% to cover our expenses / overhead, which have historically run around 10% and a modest profit margin." So he also addressed a big concern of the songwriting community, basically the idea that BMI could be borrowing capital and then in the future take that money that would otherwise be distributed to songwriters in order to pay it down. So he says that that's not going to happen. He clarified that if BMI decided to seek outside capital or borrow money to invest in new services and opportunities, any repayment would actually come from their retained profits and not distributions. So basically that's saying we're not going to take all of them, even though we will be taking a higher portion. So, you know, hey, at least it's good that they're not planning on taking out of the collections, but theoretically they've already done it by increasing their margin. So we'll have to see how this plays out. If you are a member of BMI, it might be time to consider if this is okay with you or if you want to make the switch to ASCAP, CSAC. I mean, there's other options depending on wherever you are in the world, but yeah, definitely something to be aware of and something to consider. All right, that does it for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, we thank you, the listener, for tuning in and joining us. We really appreciate you. We appreciate the support. A super huge thank you to our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Atlanta, Georgia. And, you know, hey, it's just always a blast to get together and to be able to share this information with you to kind of help you planning throughout your career. And yeah, if you ever need us, reach out. We're getting close to the end of the year here. And so this is typically when we like to share information and kind of help you with your strategy for the upcoming year. So if there's a topic that you'd like for us to cover, a specific guest that you'd like to hear from again, then please just let us know. and we'll do what we can to make it happen for you. All right, till next time. Tune in, tell a friend. We'll see you then. Peace.